G'day guys and welcome to the Arrowhead Success Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam, and together we are here to share our insights and thoughts.
And discuss topics on relationships to bring back your passions for a more fulfilling life as a couple and as individuals.
Our aim is to inspire you with a short, fun, no BS podcast starting now. Hey guys, and welcome to today's first episode of Arrowhead Success Podcast. And today, this episode, we're going to be talking about stop waiting for something to happen. And to kick this episode off, I'm going to start with this joke and / story that is very relevant for the topic. And it goes something like this. So you got this guy that's in the water drowning, and he's praying to God saying, God, please save me. Please rescue me. I am drowning. And a boat comes by to offer the guy's help, and he denies. He goes, no, it's all right, mate. I'll be fine. God will save me. And the boat goes away, and he prays again to God, God, please save me. I am drowning. I am going to die. And another boat comes by to offer their hand, and the guy goes, no, it's okay. God will save me. And he turns, and the guy goes away. And he's on the verge of death, drowning, and prays to God, God, please save me. I need to be rescued. And a helicopter comes by, and he says, no, it's okay. God will rescue me. And eventually, the guy drowned. And he goes to heaven, says to God, God, why didn't you rescue me? And God says, well, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. What more do you want? So in relation to the story, what that guy was doing was he was waiting for somebody to rescue him. And when people did come to him, he said, no, that's okay, and continued to wait. And in doing so, he died. And he was not. He didn't act on taking on the help that somebody came to him to help him. And the whole point of today, instead of waiting for something to happen, you act on it. Otherwise, you are going to wait for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that story applies to many things. I actually kind of find it kind of funny that old mate didn't survive because he didn't take action. He didn't like it. He was waiting for the perfect moment to be rescued in his mind, and the perfect moment never arrived and he died. And it's kind of like, if you wait for the perfect moment, chances are it's probably not going to happen. I've got a little excerpt from The Way of the Superior Man. It's a book from Deida. And essentially, I'm just going to read it. I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit, but it goes like this. Most people make the error of thinking that one day it will be done. They think, if I can work enough, then one day I could rest. Or one day my partner will understand something and then they will stop complaining. Or I'm only doing this now so that one day I can do what I really want with my life. The human error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. But they won't. It never ends. As long as life continues, the creative challenge is to tussle, play, and make love with the present moment while giving your unique gift. And I think this excerpt really sums up what we're trying to talk about today. If we wait for the perfect moment to give our partner a compliment or to do something, an action that might put a smile on their face, if we wait for the perfect moment to do that, then our partner's going to be disappointed for most of the time, because if you're waiting for the perfect conditions, it's like, well, you're never going to see them.
It's like if you want to take your partner out on a date, but you've got no money. So you're waiting to have money or waiting to be financially stable to be able to take your partner on a date or buy them a gift or do something nice for them. When there are plenty of other ways to be able to do something nice for your partner that doesn't require money.
Yeah. And
you don't need to be waiting to be financially secure or waiting to have the perfect job or waiting to be happy to give happiness. And the best way that if you need cheering up, the best way to be cheered up is by cheering somebody else up.
Yeah. And I think you got to create the perfect moment, don't you? Like, For example, when we were first dating, neither of us had very much money. So rather than go on an expensive date to the movies and to get some pizza and stuff like that, Sammy surprised me with a homemade pizza picnic in her living room. And look, that was just such a special time for me. It was a memory that I'm never going to forget. Now, how many times have we had pizza in movies, Sammy?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I lost count.
but I remember this one because she made an action. She didn't wait until we had money to be able to go and do that. When we first started our relationship, we didn't have that much, so we went. You know what? Let let's create a moment. And I'm going to remember that picnic in the lounge room eating pizza like it was yesterday. And it's kind of like taking that opportunity to go. I'm going to create the perfect moment rather than wait. I always relate back a little bit to sporting metaphors, and it's totally applicable to relationships as well. You know, if you're going down to the beach and you're waiting for the perfect moment to go surfing, waiting for the perfect wind, the perfect breeze, the perfect temperature, you'll probably never surf. But if you actually just go out and surf, you're gonna have a hell of a fun time. And that's what it's like in a relationship. If you want to make love with your partner, but you're waiting until both of you have had a shower and you've got home from work and the kids are in bed and you've had a bottle of wine, like if you're waiting for that perfect moment to make love with your partner, then you're gonna be waiting for a very long time.
Mm.
you know.
It's almost saying that you're waiting for them to make a move, or and there's a good chance that the other partner is saying, "Well, I'm waiting for them to make a move," and what you're doing is you're both waiting for each other to make a move. And if you want to make love to your partner, if you want to do something nice and you want something nice happen for your life, then you need to be the one to take action on it. And if you start taking action, more often than not, your partner will see that and want to do the same thing.
It's kind of like saying one day we'll have enough time to have sex, or one day we'll have enough time to go on a date, or one day we'll have enough time to go on it. One day we'll have enough money to go on an adventure together. Some of the best dates that me and Sam have been on have been driving around in the car, visiting all the locations of our relationship. Where we first kissed, where we first met, where we first held hands. Like sometimes just a trip down memory lane. It doesn't cost any money, and it's an amazing date that you can do. And you got to create the memories. You got to create the moment to create memories.
Here's a quote that says by Simone de Beauvoir. Says, "Change your today. Don't gamble on the future. Act now without delay." So the point of that is, you want something to happen, don't wait for it. Act on it. You want to have a good relationship, don't wait for your partner to start. You start it. You want to have sex, you make that effort. You want to go out on a date, you do it. And eventually your partner will pick up on that and he will then act on it, or he or she will act on it. If you are upset about something, don't wait for him to change. If you want help around cleaning around the house, your partner cannot read your mind. So if you want help, you ask for help. You speak up. You let them know, because they're not going to know. So no point waiting around and expecting them that they're going to help you, or expecting them that they're going to change. They're not going to know what's going to bother you if you don't speak up, if you don't act on it.
Like, how good would it be if every time you wanted something, how good would it be if whenever you wanted something in your relationship, you actually got it? And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it'd be amazing." Of course it would. Let me ask you this: how good would you feel if you were the one that created it every time you wanted it? Again, yeah, great. Okay, so you've got to remember that when you're in a relationship, if you want something, you've got to make action steps towards it. Because if you sit on your fingers, or sit on your hands, I should say, and you don't say anything, you don't speak up, you don't take that action to let the other person know, then they're never going to know.
Well, being in a relationship, it's all about serving one another. It's not give or take, it's to serve. And if you're waiting for a better day, then you're never going to get it.
It's kind of like,
Sorry, people don't have an amazing relationship or a great marriage if they're just waiting for the perfect moment, or waiting to have money, or waiting to have this or that. They're just going to be wasting their days of perfect moments that could have happened if you actually acted on it.
A common thing that people approach us with is like, there's no perfect time to have kids. And you know what? There's not. There's literally not. You've got to create the perfect time by having kids. There's no great time to leave your job. There's no great time to do this, that, the other. Now, the law of possibility kind of says that organic perfect moments will sometimes arise, but how few and far are they in between? How often does your favorite sports team win a championship? Or how often does your relationship seem perfect in that moment organically? It's not. It doesn't happen on a regular, unless you create it. Unless you go, you know what? I want this for my relationship, so I'm going to take an action. I want to smile today because I've made my wife smile. I want, and so you go out and you compliment her, you buy her flowers, you do something that she wants to receive, okay? And that all of a sudden you take action and you create it. There's a myth that, a fundamental change will happen automatically, and when it does, then you'll be happy.
Well, people who achieve significance in life are people who don't wait for the right time, who don't wait for the right moment or the amount of money or the right partner. They just act on it. They do everything that they can that allows them to have that happiness.
They sort of create it for themselves. They go out and they go, you know what, I want this for my relationship, so I'm going to do it. If you want to have kids, tell your partner you want to have kids.
People who achieve are people who find a way to create that moment. With where they are and what they have. You have this big dream of what you want in this relationship. And to get there, you have to take little steps and little actions. And because a moment that is waited is a moment wasted. And every moment that is wasted degrades your clear purpose.
Yeah, if you're wasting time in the relationship, you're wasting time at work, you're wasting time by just waiting for things to happen, then you are wasting time. Imagine getting to heaven and be like, hey God, why did my life suck? Or hey universe, why did my life suck? It's like, well, I gave you plenty of ideas, you just didn't actually act on any of them. Who wants to be in that situation? That's just a horrible situation to be in, if you ask me.
So here are the challenges that we actually have for you for today. Take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, are you acting towards your goals? If you've got a goal to be financially stable, if you've got a goal to have to take your partner out on a date, are you acting on those goals? Or are you just waiting for the perfect time? And what are the things that you are waiting on? And why are you waiting for it? And what we want to do is, what are the one day I will moments?
So what are your one day moments? One day I'll have enough money to buy a car. One day I'll have enough time to visit grandma. One day I'll have enough time to sit down and relax. What are your one day moments? Because as soon as you can verbalize those and write them down, what am I waiting for? What are my one day moments? Then you can actually see there are things you can take steps towards.
Well, what we do is, we've always said one day when we are financially stable, we will buy a house, have children. One day when we have this, we'll be able to do that. And for us to have all that, we are acting on helping other couples and individuals to improve and better their lives, because that's what we care about and we're passionate about. And that is how we are able to enforce our why. And what is it that we want? And that's what we encourage you to do today.
Excellent. Guys, make it your aim to make somebody else smile today. We appreciate you listening to us, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
That's it for today's episode. Guys, if you got some value from us today, please subscribe so you never miss another episode. And if you've not yet done so, please like us on Facebook for your daily inspirations and share this episode with a friend. You never know, it might be exactly what they need to hear. And make it your mission to live your life with a fun and fulfilling. Cheers, guys.